the lyrics are repeated. कमरे के उस पार बैठी थी वो शैतान. Just on the other side, I saw that shaitan. In this case, the bird is referring to the cat. In order to capture this, the emotion of it, I use this to represent the bars of the cage. So you only see the eyes. Now this movement, if you exaggerate it and try to add abhinaya to it and make it into a peering, that creates a very different effect. Perhaps a little too exaggerated for the elegance and subtlety of the poem. So I prefer that it be just the cage bar followed by a reaching out to show that just on the other side is where the cat is, on the other side of the cage door. The legs for this movement are again very stable. I want to showcase a moment in stillness of the bird, realizing that the cat is just there watching steadily with fixed eyes. So I want that stillness captured. So let's see that movement. 1, 2, 3, go. So there is no shaking of the hand. This is not fire. Yes? So there is only a movement where I want you to think of partitioning your face into two halves. So keep the hands in a way that there is only two. There are only two eyes that are visible. And then from here, you are going to reach out without turning. So I don't want the shoulder to pull forward. I want you to reach out with the sensation of something being there. So in any of these movements where there is a reaching out, so there is a sensation of that. Then there also has to be a sensation of this. There has to be a drawing forward and a drawing back. If not, this looks like this, where you just accumulate a lot of stress in the forward movement and you never see the drawing back. So both movements are lost if you don't take the movement, the sensation of the movement back. So that is where the stability comes in. So the more stable you are, the more you can show the reaching out. And then you come back to your stable position. Let's try the next movement. Tak dhimmi, tak dhimmi, tak dhimmi, tak dhimmi. So this movement begins with the left foot placed forward and the right hand extending, followed by a swivel where the left hand extends back, and then you raise the left leg. So it goes left forward, swivel, raise the left, left forward, swivel, raise the left, left forward, swivel, raise the left. There can be a bending back, but you have to be careful that the reach doesn't take you into a collapse once again. In the reaching forward, once again, you have to be able to reach forward without bending at the waist to a point where I start seeing a collapse. Let's see that movement once again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. a line. It goes with this form of your legs rather than here. And over here, I want to get that sensation of reaching, which is why I have the hand opened. So as I choreograph, I just try to visualize the heroine in her state of mind. And so even these little differences of reaching out in a particular way, whether it is this and this, or whether it is this and this, to me makes a bit of a difference in how I engage with the choreography. Let us do the next movement. Tak dhim hi, 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 tak dhim hi. To me, this section is all about lines, all about diagonal lines, and in the context of the emotion of the heroine, it allows me to reach and look away and look towards. What she sees is not something that she wants to register and leave an impact, so she keeps turning away from the reality of what is there. So the reality of her not being the superstar, that reality that she needs to give up that position, the reality that she needs to move on, is something that she doesn't want to register. So you see her looking at that reality and looking away. And yet the reality is constantly calling. So what choice does she have except to look at it and look away? So that whole series has movements with diagonal lines. All of those diagonal lines can only be achieved if the hip is oriented really stably and the shoulders are open and held securely. If the scapula, the shoulder blade, is not moving or securely moving on the ribs in the manner that it is supposed to, what will happen is that the shoulder will start tipping in different ways. And when that happens, the elbows go out of alignment and you just will not be able to get that registry of the diagonal lines in everything that you're doing. So in this movement, there is a lot of the repetition of the diagonal lines, and very important that as you execute the diagonal lines, I should not see a collapse. What does a collapse look like? So when you're in these positions, I want to see the length of the back. What I don't want to see is this, where the back is becoming short on the two sides. So what I want to see is that the length of the back is maintained even though the body is bending towards one side. And part of it is also the length of your extended leg. So let me see that. So this leg that extends in the back needs to be very long. There might be a natural bend behind your knee. This is a natural bend. Hyperextension in this position where the knee pops up is not natural. It is important to use the toes to orient yourself again with the weight of the body on the forward leg as much as possible. Now in this position, again, if she is over rotated, then you will see the hip pulling towards the back. So you want a rotation which is forward and then move to the next circling. Yes. So orient your head in line with your hands. From there, move on to the yes, in all of those try and the legs a little closer with the heels coming a little more close. Remember that you don't want to pull so hard with that side if you're not able to. So get into a place where it is still comfortable without dropping or rolling that shoulder forwards. So get into somewhere where it is comfortable and maintain that position. So I see your lines without trying to be over ambitious and trying to pull too much away from the stability of the position. So you want to have that elbow slightly forward but not rolled. Okay, let's move on to the next step. Tak kar dhimmi, tak kar dhimmi, tak kar dhimmi, tak kar dhimmi. This is a movement which has evocation of a chain. Now this chain could very well be the chain that she feels around her neck, chaining herself to this thought that she is not good enough. So it is not an adornment, it is not a garland, because a garland that a heroine wears that is beautiful will have a different feel in the manner that it is executed. So it looks like this. In this case, these are chains that she feels. And it is important to get that full spinal twist in order to be able to show her anguish as she bears this burden. A burden that she will never be good enough, that people will never acknowledge her, that she can never regain what she has lost. So what are the legs doing? The legs are just supporting this beautiful movement of the body and the hands. So there is a placement of the leg, and then there is a movement that takes the leg upwards in order to support the body. This is an advanced movement. In its most elementary form, you can do it in this way, showing that chain. So it would look something like this, followed by this position. The follow-on movement, following her being chained, is this. So this is a familiar movement of Taiha Tahi, which I have added the hands going across and to the side. So to me, Taiha Tahi is a movement of release, of trying to release. However, this is a very restricted axis. So you see, I don't have a lot of range. I'm crossing my own shoulder. So the range I get in this axis is very limited. So it still makes me experience a sense of closeness. So I can't move much. So here I go, again trying for a release that I am not finding, that is not becoming a reality for me. This brings us to the end of this section. Let's review the main points. Calibrate the movement to match the mood. Hold the shoulders stable to register movements better. Take time to acquire a stable home position from where extensions will be more visible. Avoid overreaching, which leads to collapse. Back extensions are important while reaching forward. The geometry of the movement can echo mood. Head orientation can affect mood in movements. Hip 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock positions need to be aligned forward. Shoulder blade positioning is extremely critical in how your entire arm behaves in a movement. Side bending should be done with back extension. Leg needs to be extended long, but the knee should not be hyperextended. Do not overturn the shoulders and chest to achieve symmetrical lines. Changing up the way you move in a movement changes its feel. You can simplify the movement to its skeletal form. Across the shoulder movements enable the dancers to experience a sense of closedness. Continue watching part 5 of Deconstructing Choreography on the Inner Circle.